I'm live. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it. Alrighty, is anybody going to join me on my little fun trip? Maybe. Maybe not. The world may never know. Right now, nobody's joining me. That's okay. That's all right. That's all right. That's okay. Something, do it anyway. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Mike T. Hey, what's going on, bud? How are you? How are you, Mike T? Hey, Mike T, do you want to do me a huge solid? Super awesome favor that'll help the stream and the channel. If you would like the stream, and if you want to be the person to write our banner message, you can be that person. I know there's a little bit of a delay, but if you want to write something like, share, and subscribe or something along those lines, that would be super cool. I would appreciate it. That's the best way to help channels. If you enjoy what they do, that's the best way to help them out. Thank you. Appreciate the the thumbs up. The best part is because YouTube doesn't like content creators like me, is it's also kind of like giving the finger to YouTube. And we all know that giving the finger to someone is the greatest form of affection and sarcasm, all at the same time. Little grown-up joke there. I forgot to buy gas. That's okay. We'll be fine. We'll get gas on the way back. So, what brings you to my channel this morning, Mike? You're bored. It's understandable. I'm not sure where you're tuning in from, but it's 8:20 in the morning here in Utah. So if you're further on the West Coast or in Alaska or Hawaii, I imagine you probably are bored because it's like the butt crack of dawn. So if you're on the East Coast, little known secret, Hardee's or Carl's Jr. has one of the best breakfast sandwiches on the planet. It's called the Breakfast Burger. Highly recommend it. If you're being fat like me, and I'm on a road trip, so I'm gonna be fat. Hello, other person who just joined us in the stream. 11:20. Uh-oh. Looks like I lost Mike. Looks like I lost everybody. It's okay. I've still got my trucker's mug. Well, maybe I regained Mike. I don't know. Nova Scotia, Canada. Awesome. All right, guys, I'm trying to get to my breakfast. Trying to find my breakfast. And don't worry, I've got lane assist on, so I can look at the camera every once in a while. I do have a big mug. I do have a big mug. And then this is, like I said, full-on burger. If you get a chance, try one. It's got eggs and bacon, and they put the hash browns inside. And I just spilled some of my bacon, which is a travesty. It's actually currently showing that nobody's watching the stream, Mike. So... Oh. I do sometimes go hunting. So I don't hunt here in Utah. If I go hunting, I usually go hunting out of state. So because I'm military, I can usually do at whatever state I choose is the state I have to hunt and fish in. So what I'll do is I'm in the Air Force Reserves. So if I want to hunt in Idaho, which is where my mom lives, and I sometimes hunt in Idaho, I'll go get a hunting license in Idaho, but that's where that's the only state I can hunt in that year. Same thing with fishing. So like last year it was Alaska, since I went fishing up in Alaska. Mike, other Mike, what's going on? I've been doing this a little while, so I'm not going to say your full screen name, Mike. Or I can call you Mr. Hunt. Which one would you prefer? But Mike T. Yeah, so I grew up in Alaska. And so I used to hunt like caribou and moose and bear. I didn't always get caribou and moose and bear, because anybody who goes hunting for any of those three knows that it's not as easy as I'm making it sound. Now it's mostly like pigeon and ducks and geese and deer. I do a pretty good job of getting the birds. I have not yet got a deer. I'm not very good at it. So, Mr. Hunt, if you've ever seen like on cooking shows and they talk about cooking squab is pigeon, or like mourning dove. It's pretty much all the same. It's actually really nice because it's a really dark meat. So if you cook it right, yes, Mike, just really small bird shot. Or with pigeon, even target loads for like clay pigeons, you can take out a pigeon or a squab with that. But it's almost like a little filet mignon. You know, the meat is really small like that. It has the texture of like a little steak medallion. Just the breast. And then you can eat You can eat the other parts. You can eat like the wings and stuff, but it's almost not worth the effort. But like my mom has a big barn. So I have 2 bird guns. I have an SKB, which is a Japanese shotgun. It's a pump action shotgun with a 26-inch barrel. And then I have a Winchester Model 120, which is like this. It's the long barrel version of like the old police cop shotgun, and it has a 24-inch barrel. That's what I would use for those. But I do have for my house. I also have a Mossberg 930. I have a tactical semi-automatic shotgun, but it's like a home defense shotgun. It's got like an 18.5-inch barrel. Hey folks, if you're just joining, it looks like we lost him. But I actually own, I don't know if you've been to my channel before, but I actually own a lot of guns. And I do a lot of gun content. I'm just on the road driving to go pick up my daughter. She's doing a youth camp and they finished up. And so I figured, well, I'm going to be on the road. I might as well do a live stream with everybody. That'd be fun. So that's what I'm doing. Doing a live stream. Talking to you fine folks. All 2 or 3 of us just here chit-chatting. I've never been to Switzerland, so I'm in the military, Mr. Hunt. Thank you. Yes, I am Zesty Bobby. Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. When people come in that like I don't expect, when people come in and they're like, hey, you're Zesty Bobby Yaga. That always makes me laugh. It always makes me happy. Because it means that I'm doing a good job. Like, I don't have a huge channel. I don't make a lot of money. I think I've made a total of about $1,200 on my channel, which is okay, but it's not like amazing. I just love interacting with people, making people laugh, and so or like if I know that my videos, if I get a bunch of comments like this is terrible, this is offensive, right? Whenever I get comments like that, then I know I did a good job. Because the only people that say that are people that are overly sensitive and don't have a sense of humor. And it means that tons of other people love it. So there's my latest video that I posted this morning is called Please Just Go Buy a Guy and Train With It. And if you've been on X, if you're on the X platform, there's a guy on there, and he's a pretty well-known guy. His screen name is Hard Pass, and he's pretty funny. He's a pretty conservative guy. And he was replying to somebody's post, and he meant to say, please just go buy a gun and train with it. And she said something about like, guns are terrible and nobody needs a gun, blah, blah, blah. And he accidentally wrote guy, and it's just blown up all over X about like there's just memes, there's all kinds of stuff. So I figured I'd throw my hat into that ring and have some fun with it. Oh no. Yeah, I'm in the Air Force Reserve, so I've been to Europe a couple times. So I've been to Spain, I've been to Portugal, I've been to Ireland, I've been to the UK, I've been to Germany. I've been to the Middle East, a couple places in the Middle East, a couple times. I've been to the Pacific. I've been to Guam, but I've never been to Switzerland. I'd like to visit Switzerland. There's some things about Switzerland when it comes to like obviously gun ownership and gun laws that I like. I'd also like to visit Norway. We've brought Norway into NATO, and that's pretty cool. The Norwegians, they're actually, I've met a couple of Norwegians. I've met a couple of Swiss dudes. So, Mike T, that's right. Zesty Baba Yaga. Hello, friends. It is I, the Zesty Baba Yaga. I'm here driving on the road, trying not to hurt anyone and be safe, but also trying to make the people laugh. Hello, Mason. Hello, my friend. Do you need some cuddles? Do you need the cuddles today, my friend? How is the farm? So, I actually haven't done a Zesty Baba Yaga video in a while. I need to do a Zesty Baba Yaga. I could do Zesty Mustache Vice. All right, guys. The cop. It's time to get serious. There's some shit that only me and the mustache can handle, and you'll be supporting the mustache. No, so, Mr. Hunt, that's actually one of the things I tell people a lot. Like, I actually kind of wish the U.S. would adopt that model. That's one thing I think would be really good for this nation. Is if we had mandatory service. I know we have an all volunteer military service. I'm not saying that's bad, but I actually think that if we did like a mandatory 2-year service, especially for young men, one, I think it would help improve a lot of young men. Short of young men like committing felonies, I think that every young man should have to do the service, go into service for 2 years. And then I think the concept of, and then here's this rifle that we keep track of. It's the only rifle, it's the only type of any type of gun registry / tracking that I would be okay with, is if it was a full auto military rifle that you as a person have to have and keep track of and have responsibility and ownership over. I'm actually okay with that one rifle being tracked. I don't think the government should track any other firearms. I don't think you should be restricted from any other firearms because the government is giving you like an M4 or whatever, the equivalent of an M4 or even an M16. But then it's like, if somebody does something stupid, it's like, well, there is no pass. You've been trained. You know the responsibility. You spent your 2 years of mandatory service in the military. There is no getting away from being severely punished for abusing this firearm or for breaking the law. I really think it would actually help a lot. What do you think, Mason? Mr. Hunt, what do you think? What kind of, I mean, I don't know what kind of crimes or things you guys deal with in Switzerland. I know that comparing Switzerland to the US doesn't make a lot of sense because our populations are so vastly different, and then the population density of the demographics is so vastly different. It's not a perfect science, but I think that there is an argument to be made about, you know, the lifestyle of the people in Switzerland and how it corresponds to the fact that everybody has mandatory service, everybody's armed. I think I lost a bunch of people. So and what's the highest population city in Switzerland? Mike, Mr. Hunt. What's going on, Mabad? I'm driving to go pick up Riley from camp. They're done. I need to be there by 11. And if I have to be on the road, I figured I might as well do a live stream. Oh, you can also do civil service. See, I wouldn't want it to be civil service. I would want it to be like 2 years in like the Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Coast Guard. Maybe Air Force. Like, I think you should still have to take the ASVAB. Yeah, I think if you're part of the mandatory service, I don't think that the deployment portion, I'm thinking just like people that are back home, like helping to, because it would essentially be a way to augment when we do deployments. If that makes sense, Mason. But it would still also create a you know, and then you get a chance. Then you get a chance to volunteer to enlist at the end of your mandatory service. And you know, maybe even the people that do the mandatory service, if they voluntarily enlist, maybe give them a slightly larger, maybe give them the opportunity to do a bonus, like a good bonus. 400,000 Zurich citizens has the most. Zurich citizens has the most. Okay, so what's a city with about 400,000 people? What's a large city that has about 400,000 people? And what kind of crime do you guys have in Zurich? I'm guessing it's probably not bad. Everybody, please remember when you're coming into the stream to like. Actually, Mason, would you write a banner for us if you're able to, bud? You know what I'm looking for, bud. Typical banner message for the stream. Come on. You can do it, you guys. Yeah. No, Hunt, I knew that you guys were a neutral nation. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that, like, if Russia decided to be dumbfuckery more than they are in Ukraine, I'm guessing you guys would potentially get involved, but sorry guys, kind of bit the inside of my cheek a little bit. What's going on, Owen? Hey, did you watch Ezra play Warzone last night, man? Yeah, so it's kind of like us. Like it was when India and Pakistan had their little thing, you know, recently, that thankfully is it seems like it's de-escalated a couple months ago, when Pakistan and India had their little tuft. That created a really weird situation for the US because we're allies with both, and we sell like missiles and jets and shit to both. So that yeah, that complicated things. I think Pakistan has F-16s. I think India has F-16s. Hey, Mike, thank you. I appreciate that, bud. That'll definitely go towards my revolver fund. We're still trying to buy a revolver here on the channel, but we have picked it. We found one that's a good price, and it's a pretty cool revolver. So thank you for that. If I had my Nerf gun, I'd give you the rack of excitement and joy. I have a Nerf gun that we pull the trigger, and it's really loud and makes noises, and that's how we celebrate. So it's a Colt Kodiak, so it's a 44 Magnum. Originally the deal was I made a promise to I made a deal with the viewers and the subscribers that I would buy a Colt Python. Well, the Colt Python, everywhere I've looked, has been like $1,500–$1,600, and it's a 357 Magnum, and it can also shoot 38 Special. Well, I'm also from Alaska, like I said, and so when I was doing more research, I was like, well, I mean, an Anaconda is a 44 Magnum. I've shot 44 Magnum lots of times growing up in Alaska. Why don't I just get an Anaconda? And then I was looking at the price of an Anaconda, and I was like, that's still like $1,600. So then I saw the Kodiak, which is like a modified Anaconda, and I was like, well, shit, that's named after the Kodiak bear, and it's like a modified Anaconda. It's kind of a special edition. It's unique. I think that would fit the channel better. And so I, decided on the Kodiak, and it's going to cost a little less. It's basically an Anaconda without as much tooling done to the cylinder. So it's a little bit heavier. It's got a ported barrel and everything. It's a really nice gun. You should check it out. But it's I'll be getting when we hit our next goal. Like I said, I've made like $1,100 on the channel. I spent like $300 of it. So when we get to the next $500 goal, which is in about $300, then I'll have enough to go buy that Kodiak. And I told the chat that would be the next gun, and that was mostly true. I'd previously purchased the Mossberg. I'd previously put it on layaway, so the Mossberg didn't count. Hey Lisa, welcome to the stream. I'm driving to go pick up Riley. So no, Owen, I'm glad you watched Ezra last night. He said he actually had fun. He'd never played Warzone, so he said he felt like he did pretty okay, and he had a lot of fun, so that was good. I actually, given that he enjoyed Warzone, I don't like how woke Warzone has become, but I might actually play Warzone again if he's playing that. Dude, 590s are awesome. I think Mossberg is great. I think they're a great quality shotgun. They're not too expensive. I mean, they have expensive shotguns, but they're great quality. You can use them for hunting. You can use them for offense. I mean, my 930, like I'm never gonna hunt with that 930. It's an 18.5-inch barrel. That's stupid. To quote Jeremy Clarkson, it's stupid. No, it's stupid. To hunt with an 18.5-inch barrel. But for home defense, dude, that's solid. Get some wax slugs or some like number 4, number 6 buckshot. I can do 7+1 in my Mossberg. So And it's what I like about what I like about my 930 is it doesn't have a lot of recoil. It's easy to shoot. My son, who's 17, like, he's shot a regular shotgun and he shot the Mossberg. He's like, oh, I like that one way more. You know, just a standard pump action shotgun. You get all the recoil. The Mossberg, you don't. I mean, it's like shooting an AR. It's nothing. So, yeah, I like my 930 for the house, you know, but then I have, you know, all my other stuff. Yeah, I'm the same way, dude. Like, I don't care. If you want to be gay, go be gay. I don't care. I make jokes about being gay. I mean, one of my videos that I posted last night, some of the other YouTube gun content creators, we were like chatting, and I don't know how we came upon the joke. Somebody was like, oh, dude, you're totally gay. And I was like, no, you're gay. And somebody was like, dude, whoever posts a video saying they're the gayest one wins. And so I was just like, bet. Yeah. No, it's just it's like, it's different. Like, if you think about the definition of what queer meant, queer originally meant like different, odd, unique, almost like rare. And now it's like everyone's, oh, well, I don't know, I might be gay, I might not be gay. And it's like, cool, I don't care. You figure it out, and then you can let us know, and I'm going to treat you exactly the same. I just get tired of being told that I have to treat everybody, like, anybody who isn't, you know, like, it's just, let's just treat everybody normal. Who cares? If you're a dude and you're into dicks, whatever. If you're a chick and you're into tacos, cool. It's when you're like, the one I get a kick out of is like the dudes, you know, the trans women, the dudes that are saying that they're women, and then they get onto like Tinder or whatever, and the actual lesbians aren't interested in them. And they're like, I don't understand why all these lesbians aren't interested in me. I'm a woman too. And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say, maybe it's because of that giant schlong between your legs, dudes. And kind of the vice versa. The trans men, the women that say that they're men, and they're like, I went into this forum to try to meet other gay men. And it's like, you're literally straight. You are literally straight. I don't get it. Oh, it's funny. It's comical. So, like, whatever. Like, either be gay or don't be gay. Like, the people that are stuck in between. I'm a woman that wants to be a man that's attracted to men. What? Dude. Why would you want to be a man? Being a man kind of sucks sometimes. And I am fairly of the opinion that any man that wants to be a woman just wants to take advantage of other women. So, thank you, Lisa. I hope I didn't scare you away, Mr. Hunt. Sorry, I went off on a bit of a tangent there. Oh, goodness. On my way to Park City, Utah. Gonna drive past it. But no, I've just, like, on my X account, so like I have all the major, so I don't have TikTok. I don't do TikTok. For personal security reasons. I don't trust TikTok. But like I have X and Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, and I have Instagram Threads, which is kind of like Instagram's version of X. And it's just funny because sometimes I'll get people that comment on my videos, or they comment on my, I'll go in and I'll comment and I'll make a joke. 90% of what I do is sarcasm, which I don't know how people still don't grasp that. Which is why I think the art of like humor and satire, it's going the wayside, and I miss it. Like I miss Eddie Murphy making fun of white people, like in a really funny way, like in a funny way, not like in a I hate white people way, but like in a white people are crazy and stupid kind of way. We are. I miss that. And I think people take things too seriously. I think people take guns too seriously. And I'm a gun guy. Like, I think you should treat guns with respect. But I also think you can have fun with guns. I think you can make jokes with guns. I don't think you should, point guns at people like it's a joke. But I think, making fun of our own community and how FUDs treat guns. Thank you, Mr. Hunt. You have a wonderful day. If you know anybody that needs to be offended or laugh, definitely throw them my way. What's up, Chief? I got to go pick up Riley, from camp. So I figured I'd do a live stream this morning. I already ate my breakfast burger from Carl's Jr. Which, as I said earlier, little hidden gem. I'm not a huge Carl's Jr. guy, but every once in a while, a breakfast burger F's, man. Some good stuff. Oh, man. So there's a semi-truck. Ah, shit. There's a lane closed on the way up to Park City. That's going to delay me. I may have to go a little faster than I originally thought I was going to go. How was your night, Chief? Did you doom scroll for hours? Did I lose you because I'm eating food? I'm sure it's not very attractive. The mustache can only do so much. Hi, Mr. BMW. The left lane's closing, so I don't know what you're doing. Besides being a moron. Hey guys, if you're just joining in, don't forget to double tap the screen or smash that thumbs up. Help our channel grow. If you don't want to subscribe, that's fine. I'm not gonna hold that against you if you don't subscribe. I know that I can be an abrasive jerk sometimes. Oh, excuse me. That was not attractive. That was unpleasant. That sucks. Hey, new folks, remember to like the stream. Subscribe if you fat, unapologetic. That's not true. I do apologize. If I say something really, really rude or mean, I'll apologize. Like, I'm not a complete asshole. To quote Star-Lord, I may be a complete asshole, but I'm not a 100% dick. So, and I think that's a good motto to live by. Like, acknowledge the fact that sometimes you can be an abrasive jerk, but also recognize that, hey, it's not like you're trying to be the worst person in the world. So, I try to be honest. I try to be upfront. I try to be kind. I actually try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I try to connect with people. I try to understand their perspective. I try to have empathy, but sometimes the world is just a strange place. There's some things that escape and are beyond, I guess, my current capacity of empathy. Ava! It's my favorite teenager from New York. That sounded weird. It's yeah, there's not really any recovering from that. How are you, Ava? How are you doing? How's your summer? Did you have your license? Did you get your license, Ava? I thought you were working on like your driver's license or your permit or something. Is that right? Riley got her license, Ava. She got it about 2 weeks ago. She got her driver's license. She's very excited. As I drive to go pick her up, but it's because she's at like youth court camp. I apologize, everybody. I think there's a really big delay right now in the video. If anybody wants to give me any feedback on what they're seeing, is it super choppy? Is it super laggy? Is it just really gross looking? I mean, I know that the mustache is attractive, but everything it's attached to. Did I lose connectivity? I don't think that I did. Oh, what the hell, guys? Come on. Come on. Get out of the left lane. Don't be stupid. Good grief. Hey, it looks like my truck. Shit. Sorry. There's like really funky traffic and there's like a glare and people are driving stupid. Did I lose everybody? What's going on? The chat just died. I got excited for Miss Ava as she joined the stream and then everybody left. It probably came across as weird. It was a little weird. Coco, what's going on? Hey, Mason. One of your bulls attacked a skid loader. Okay, so you can see everything. Okay. Thanks, Mason. Hey, Plink, what's going on, bud? Trying to get through this traffic on the way up to Park City. People just driving like morons. No, I'm on my way to go pick up my daughter. So on Monday, I drove her up to a summer camp that she's doing for she's a youth court advocate, and they finished today, so I'm on my way up to go pick her up. Oh, awesome, Plink. That sounds fun. Yeah, I'm obviously I said I'm on my way to go pick up my daughter, my older daughter, and I was like, well, I'm gonna be on the road for 2 hours. I might as well entertain some folks. So, hey guys, please don't forget to double tap your screen and like the stream. I think I'm sitting at 5 likes right now. And if somebody wants to write a message for our banner, that would be super cool, so that I could save that and pin it. We can try and get, get that reminder up there to like, share, and subscribe. What the hell? Come on. This freaking moron. All these guys. All tractor trailers that drive on uphill roads, it should be against the law to be in any lane but the right lane. Any lane but the right lane. Yeah, so like Plink, some of that, but also some of the, just like working with like lawyers and cops to try and get kids to maybe open up about stuff that they go through or stuff that they may have been a part of, you know, some of it part of the plea process, but also some of it part of like the investigative process, because, you know, young people are more likely to open up to other young people than they are to adults. So just like youth advocates, that kind of thing, just to help kids, you know, try to find ways to better articulate their side of what happened. That kind of stuff. And again, I don't know everything that she's been involved in, because they actually, all the kids that do youth court, they actually had to sign a non-disclosure agreement, and we had to, you know, because they're minors, but we also had to, as the parents and guardians, we also had to sign an agreement that we would allow them to sign a non-disclosure agreement. So, but part of our agreement was, you know, they won't be exposed to anything of an extremely graphic nature. So I don't think they've been involved in anything that's like super heinous. But, you know, my daughter said that she wants to be a lawyer. I don't know if she still does. I think teenagers change their mind a lot, and that's good. It's good for them to branch out and see different things and experience different things. Sorry if you guys, I don't know who all's on the stream, and I don't know who all is engaging, because it'll show me like 0, and then it'll show me 6, and then it'll show me 2. And some of the responses that people are typing, it looks like they're coming in like 3 or 4 minutes after I say something. So I think there's a little bit of a lag on the YouTube servers. So Plinkmaster says, as someone who volunteered for it when you were in high school, it's really neat. I got to represent other kids in a relatively legal fashion. Yeah, it was all civil, and I also served on the jury. Super fun experience. Yeah, so they do kind of like that. They'll work with like court-appointed attorneys, and they'll work with the judges and the cops, and I don't know that any of them do jury stuff. I think that they may do like, they may do things like the jury can, if there's like a court case and a jury is involved, then they may call upon some of the, you know, the youth court kids to sit in with the jury, and the jury can ask them questions like from a youth perspective that's outside of the, you know, the attorney experience. I don't know how that works, but there it is. Good old entrance to Park City. I think this is actually Kimball. So there's this city of Kimball with the outlets, even though it's really just part of Park City. And then Park City. White Rambo! What's going on, bud? Welcome to my road trip stream. Again. Road tripping again. Having the time of my life. Driving. Actually, it's fun to talk to you guys. I know that there's only a couple of you guys in the stream, but when you know, that's actually something that's really neat, and that people don't think about. Like, here I am, I'm driving on my own, and people might say, oh, well, you're distracted because you're talking. It's actually helping me to not be tired, and it's helping me to focus on the road by engaging, just like having a conversation, like if I had a passenger in the car. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hey, Grant. What's going on, buddy? Driving to go pick up my daughter from camp. Everybody that's joining the stream, if you haven't yet, remember to smash the thumbs up, double tap your screen for the like. And also check to make sure if you guys have subscribed before, please make sure that you are still subscribed. I know some of my subscribers, I was looking at it today, some of my subscribers have been pulled from being subscribed. So make sure that you're still subscribed, everybody. Go ahead. Go. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to make room for you. Thank you, guys. Oh, I'll have to go check it out, bud. What's up, Toes? Thanks, Plink. Appreciate it. Hey, if somebody who's in the stream, if one of you guys are able to, or one of you people not trying to be a chauvinist, if one of you would be super cool and write a banner message, you know, like a like, share, subscribe, you know, like we would normally have. Somebody do that so that I can pin it for everybody. I don't have a banner because I'm driving. I can't type, or I would do it. Actually, I can't because I'm also streaming, and I can't type from the streaming portion. I normally have like a second I can type with. Thank you, Toes. Appreciate it. So, yeah, but we've had a pretty good stream. And everybody go check out Grant Garcia. You have 12 hours till you can stream. Did you get flagged, Toes? Or did you finally hit enough subscribers and now you're waiting the like 24 hours before you're allowed to do it? Because I think you're only allowed to do so many in a 24-hour period when you have. Awesome. Ezra, my son Ezra's, like, he streams through OBS, but it doesn't advertise it because he's under 50. So, and that's a secret that a lot of people don't know. You can actually stream through OBS. It just doesn't hit the YouTube algorithm. Oh, cool. That's cool. That'll be fun. Grant, what's your other account again? Post so that people can go check you out. Your video account, your YouTube account that you make content with. That's the word that I was struggling to find. Well, Toes, just be safe. As long as you're safe, most of the time, parents are okay with their children doing things as long as they're being safe and not completely retarded about it. Yeah, that was actually... Your parents would kill you if they found out you were streaming? Are you not supposed to have social media? Is that what's going on? I mean, I'm not going to tell you things like disobey your parents. But I'm also, like, I'm a parent of older teenagers and younger teenagers and tweens. And I have found that if you're just open and honest with your teens, if you don't put full restrictions on your children and just set expectations, a lot of times your kids will just do the right thing. Just not other social media where you're putting stuff out there. So streaming would kind of be taking the YouTube that you're allowed to have and turning it. Got it. Well, as I said, I'm not going to tell you to do anything that is opposed to what your parents say, because I am a firm believer in obeying the rules that your parents set forth. But I also believe that free will and personal choice and the First Amendment are a thing. So Grant, one of the things I like about doing lives, it gives me a chance to interact. It gives me a chance to talk to you guys. And I can do that through the comments. Like, I know you've responded to some of my shorts and stuff, and like I can type out a message, but like this way it's more like a conversation. And it lets people see, like, because obviously I'm not Baba Yaga all the time. Obviously I'm not a completely ass clown gun owner all the time. You know, I try to be a good parent. I try to have fun with people. I try to make people laugh. But I also have perspectives that are harder to convey, like in shorts, and that a lot of times people don't want to sit through a 30-minute video. But in this way, people can ask a question. They can convey a message, and they can see my immediate reaction. Yeah, I understand that, Toes. I mean, mental health is a good thing. You guys know that I'm a big mental health advocate, so I think taking care of your mental health is extremely important. It is equally as important as your physical health. And then Grant, the other thing it does is it helps you build watch hours so that you can get closer to monetization, if that's your goal. Is to make money with YouTube potentially, but also it helps you grow subscribers that otherwise maybe wouldn't look at your channel, because all they see is, you know, kind of the personas or the content that you create. What's going on, Odd? Okay, go ahead. Yeah, so Toes, you don't have to do the monetization side, and you don't have to monetize any of your content. None of your content actually has to be monetized, depending on what you do. So streams are not default monetized. Once you agree to monetization, and I tell everybody, like, once you get to the point, it's worth doing the monetization agreement. You just don't have to make your content monetized. I had heard a while ago that Chernobyl's dome had something happen that, remember, the radiation is always leaking. The radiation from Chernobyl will always be leaking because it was a complete meltdown of radiated materials. It's not like when a nuclear bomb goes off, there's the initial process, as long as it's not a salted weapon, and that's where they put something that absorbs radiation and then gets spread. That kind of fallout is what causes problems with nuclear weapons, and that's one of the dangers of, one of the very, very, very few mild dangers of a nuclear reactor, is that because everything is absorbing that radiation, if there was a meltdown like what happened at Chernobyl, then it does make the land highly radiated. And again, the half-life of radioactive material, it's not like, oh, well, it's been 300 years, or it's been 25 years, so it's safe. It just means that the radiation level goes down after a certain amount of time. It doesn't mean that it gets to a safe level, because just because it's safer doesn't mean it's safe. But that's, I mean, the Soviets, when Chernobyl happened, yeah. Later, Toes. That's really good, Grant. Mason, streaming is fun. I love interacting with people. You guys have heard me say, I love interacting with people. Yeah, Mason, most of the time, like if it's an air burst, or even if it hits the ground, even if it's in the ground, most of the time there's not enough stuff in the ground. Like if it was like a penetration nuke, most of the time the stuff that's in the ground doesn't absorb radiation. Things like gamma radiation and alpha particles and neutrinos, that stuff just passes through it. Concrete absorbs it. So the concrete is actually what's radioactive, among other things that are at Chernobyl. I mean, yes, Grant, I did. I think that's stupid. Like I think because you know that, like, people on the left and a lot of people on the right, but there's a lot of people on the left that are like, would you be doing this if you knew? Why aren't you advocating for the list? It's because you're protecting Republicans. And I'm like, dude, if Republicans were taking part in it, they can go to jail too. Dude, wood chipper. Feed first, wood chipper. 100%. Make America wood chip again. I mean, I feel bad for the people that worked at Chernobyl when the meltdown happened, because a lot of them are very smart and they were nuclear engineers, and those people are extremely intelligent. And the Soviet Union, basically, forced them to continue what they did. And because of the way that the Soviet Union does propaganda, there wasn't really a choice. Hey, what's up, Ortiz? So yeah, I feel bad in that regard. But also, we know that there were plenty of people that worked at the nuclear reactor at Chernobyl and that worked for the Soviet government during that time that knew full well what the Soviets were doing, and they benefited from the way that communism works. And so some of them kind of got just rewards. Dude, that's awesome, Ortiz. Dude, that's really what that's. It sounds like this. Obviously, it's great. Later, Ava. Thanks for tuning in. It's great when you have something go viral and you get 1 million views or 2 million views. Dude, that's awesome. Don't get me wrong. I have one video that went viral. That went really viral. And you make a couple $100 off it. So it's really cool. But most of the time making YouTube content, until you get to 50 or 100,000 subscribers where you're constantly getting, 10,000 views on whatever you put out, or you're getting 1,000 views on a long form video, and that's how you're making ad revenue or whatever. Until you get to that point, YouTube is a grind. It's like an unpaid job. So there are a lot of things that the Soviets did and still do that are very. I think you should do it, Ortiz. Yeah, and they still do a lot of weird stuff like that. I mean, that's really what the Wagner Group is. That's a mercenary organization, kind of like Blackwater, or Black Rock in the U.S. Except that in Russia, the Wagner Group, what they do is they go to Russian prisons and they say, hey, anybody that agrees to this, you get minimal pay, but you go be a mercenary and you fight in this war, and it will, when it's over, we'll take off X amount of time towards your sentence. So there's a lot of, and then some of them don't get a choice. Some of them just get pulled anyways. Oh yeah, way to cut me off. Appreciate it. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, most of my videos. How do you get sponsored? So Ortiz, it's kind of hard. So you're younger, so it's a little bit harder. You have to get usually a parent involved. But the way to get sponsored, at least everybody that I've talked to, is put out good content. Once you're monetized, then you can start sharing some of your monetization information, your interactions, your channel growth, your metrics. Once you have that, then you can share that with sponsors and advertisers, and they will look at your data and they can reach out to you. But you also kind of have to put yourself out there. You've got to contact them. One of the places that everybody keeps telling me to contact is Delta Team Tactical, because I talk about them a lot. I like them. I like that they are local to me here in Utah. I like that they have pretty good products, in my opinion. And I use a lot of their parts in my builds. So yeah, everyday carry, I'm with you. Like if I can average like over 100 views on a video, I feel pretty good about the video. Dude, Ortiz, don't be discouraged by 181 subs. I mean, everybody starts that way. Like, to give you an idea, it just takes that one video that does really well. You know, 100. If you get a couple videos that get 50,000 views to 100,000 views, and then you get that one video that gets to 500,000 views, and then potentially 1 million views. You can't control how things go viral, but if you get that, and that's not the common thing, but every once in a while it'll start happening, and then as your channel grows, it'll happen more. Once that happens, you're gonna see growth from that. Odd, you can absolutely say your channel. I talk people up all the time. I tell people to go check out Ortiz, and I tell people to go check out Everyday Carry. That's awesome. 2.3 thousand. I mean, that's more than most of my videos get. My average is like 600. That's across all, because I have like 1.5 thousand videos and shorts that I've put out, which is crazy to think, because I put those out. I basically put out like 5 or 6 videos a day. And one of my videos has 3 million views. So having a video with 2,500 views, that's nothing to be sad about. If you were monetized, that would be like 50 cents. So think about it. If you could get that, if you could get 2,500 views, yeah, let people, like, if you come in and you say, hey, can I get a shout out or whatever? I don't think that's rude. Or if you show up and just start talking and somebody says, hey, go check out this channel. But yeah, if you put out 5 videos a day and you got 2.5 thousand views, then you're going to be at 125, or you're going to be at 12.5 thousand views that day. 12.5 thousand views. So then do that 7 days a week. You've now got about 100,000 views every week. So that's 400,000 views every month, if you could average that. And that puts you at 5 million views in 1 year. 5 million views that's good. That's nothing to be sad about. And that's also, you know, you're going to get more than that as your channel grows. Oh, shoot. I should have stopped the Maverick that was over there. All right. I got to stop for a second, guys. I'll be right back. Always Everyday Carry. You know me, dude. You guys have helped me grow. Everybody that comes to my channels and my streams and watches my videos. Yeah, I saw that, Ortiz. It was awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna leave my car running here. I'm gonna turn on some. They understand, look at all of this, and thank you to the business of the.
Because, you know, there are just those classic signs of the oldest, the middle child, the youngest child. How does that spin into this story?
So birth order is really complicated.
Hey, Jesus.
Helping this industry get off the ground in a more direct way versus leaving.
Simple, you know, we're all creatures.
I'm in Heber and I'm trying to find
This exclusive story.
To every get Sirius X.
Out his testimony.
Holy shit, are there no radio stations in Heber?
Be a potential charge against Brennan.
Okay, I'm gonna let you guys listen to the news while I go to the bathroom real quick.
Beyond the 5-year statute of limitations. That is true with one exception. The statute under law is told or extended, to use a layman's term. And it begins when you discover the information that was deliberately concealed or covered up. So the statute of limitations wouldn't necessarily begin until recently. As for, James Comey, I mean, there's so many different potential charges that come to mind. One of them is a federal law called conspiracy to deprive rights under color of law. In other words, if you fabricate evidence against somebody. And again, the same tolling of the 5-year statute of limitation occurred based on concealment. And, here, the violation of rights would be fabrication of evidence. Comey knew all along from the outset that the dossier was garbage, it was junk, it was phony, and yet he concealed that information and used it as a pretext to launch his own counterintelligence investigation of Trump that then morphed into the special counsel Bob Mueller, who in the end found, no criminal collusion conspiracy between Trump and Russia.
So you're the attorney. I'm not. I know that sounds like I'm bragging when I say I'm not an attorney, but it kind of is bragging.
Yeah, forgive me. We all sin.
There are some other elements here where I think they could also potentially be on the hook, and one is the FISA. The FISA application. So when you affix your signature onto a document attesting to the court certain truths, and those turn out to be false, the question then becomes, correct me if I'm wrong, did you believe or did you have reason to believe that it was true, or did you have evidence and did you believe it to be false? And if you knowingly put false information, affix your signature, signing that and then present it to the court, that's pretty serious.
You should have been a lawyer, Jason. You could have been another Clarence Darrow.
No, I just needed to take a leak.
But I was the token non-attorney. Yeah, well, you're 100% right. And what's so interesting is this, again...
I found this in my back pocket. I forgot to put it in after my push-up video.
Eventually, although Comey was, the master prevaricator and disassembled and then...
No, I did not.
Pled ignorance and loss of memory.
That's interesting.
More than 300 times he said, gee, I don't recall. I don't remember when he testified. But he was eventually forced by Lindsey Graham before a Senate committee to say, yes, my actions would have been different if I had known then what I know now. Right? So
Hold on.
what Comey did was he signed 3 FISA warrant
You guys,
applications to spy
this whole
on
time,
stage, which gave him a backdoor into surveilling the Trump
I know you guys heard that.
and
I was not.
in those applications under oath. He did 2 things. He vouched
I was not following the channel rule.
for ability.
I don't know how.
Christopher Steele.
That's a little weird.
Report, oh, by the way, we fired Christopher Steele as a source.
Okay.
He lied. Okay, so that's deception now.
All right, I'm going to turn the news back off. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I think they were talking, I don't know who that was, but I think it was some kind of conservative radio station because it sounded like they were talking about shit that was going on with prosecution against when people tried to, when they were, you know, holding the Comey case and everything against Trump and whatever, and they're like, yeah, and they had all these witnesses. It's like, yeah, the Steele dossier that turned out to be completely like full of shit. Don't get me wrong, I don't think President Trump is a saint, not by a long shot. I'm not okay with the whole, oh, there's not actually an Epstein list, you guys. Dude, wood chipper for everyone. I have told this story. So when I was about 12 years old, I had a cousin who was about 14. And shut up, John. Don't do that. Actually, if they send me a gun, you know, and that's fine. If they want to send me a gun. But so when I was like 14, I had a cousin, or sorry, when I was like 12, I had a cousin who was like 14. And this was in Idaho. And there was a guy who kidnapped her. And he kidnapped her and he abused her. And then he'd done this in like 3 other states that didn't have, I guess it's I don't know what the term is, but where if you do it in different states, it's always a first time offense and you can get out on parole and good behavior. So he'd done this in like 3 other states where he kidnapped young girls and abused them. I'm gonna let you translate what abuse means. Abused them, and then he got caught. Well, in the case of my cousin, Utah did recognize, or Idaho is one of the states that they recognize if you do something like this, they'll look at your history, and if you've done it in other states, then it's a multiple offense. It's a repeat offense. And he didn't want to get caught. So he decided to dispose of his evidence, and he murdered my cousin. And he did it in a very horrific way. Like Lacey Peterson levels of horror. So, child abusers and molesters and pedophiles and things like that. Yeah, there is no sympathy. There is none from this guy. Wood chipper. So all the people, Epstein Island, all the clients, 100% wood chipper. F them. I don't care who they are. Every single one of them, straight to wood chipper. Not even to jail, straight to wood chipper. You grew up in government housing. We had this grown man that used to follow my sister around and take pictures of her. Yeah. Everyday carry. No, he did that in Idaho and he got caught. And as I said, Idaho has a green mile. So that dude got the and it was pretty quick. It was PDQ. I think if I remember right, it was within the year. And while that didn't bring, you know, it doesn't make right what happened to my cousin and my family, my extended families and stuff, but it did protect other people from having to experience that. No, I am a firm believer in extremely harsh punishment for people that do that kind of thing. First degree murder, like Carmelo Anthony, that whole thing with the kid in Texas. I don't think he should get life in prison. I think he should get the death penalty. I'm sorry. I think it's terrible that He was raised in a way that he thought that he could get away with what he did. It wasn't self-defense. If drone footage, they know now that this was what this kid was planning on doing. He murdered that other kid. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that it makes people sad, but if you murder someone else and it is intentional murder, I think that you should get murdered back. Like, okay, here you go. You're not going to be famous. You're not going to be important. Yeah. We're going to kill you back.